fine Sunday evening. Who's Sunday Connections? Is this your first one? Whose first one is this? Jinsu, okay. So this is a non-denominational. This is where we have outside speakers come in and share their journey, just their experiences, hopefully inspire us to do better. Tonight, I have the honor and privilege of introducing somebody that he needs absolutely no introduction. Man, he's one of my closest friends. We went through this program together. He's a model. He's a role model to all you guys. He's an example. Man, if you follow his lead, you can't go wrong. Without further ado, Toppee.
What's up, guys?
So,
I'm a taller in real life, just so you guys are aware. So for those that don't know me, my name's Toppee Phetsysouk. I was born Toppee Phetsysouk. I came to the United States. I was born in 1977 in Vietnam House. I came to the United States in 1981, picked from thousands of refugees, right? So I didn't realize where my journey started was to this beautiful land when they picked us to come to America, right? Me, my father, my mother, and my sister. So if you ever want to know what like a American-born citizen is in an Asian American house, you just have to go by their names, right? So my dad named Ampon, my mom named Beloy, I'm Toppee, I have a sister named Tukta, and then my brother named John. So you guys can figure it out from there. I grew up in a good household, right? But under the surface, it wasn't as good because my dad was an alcoholic, right? He had PTSD after coming to this country because we escaped that country for whatever reason. I was told so many different stories, and I believed all of them because just to get over here and just have to face all those demons that he had to face and the trials that we went through as a family, right, to get here, so I get where it's come from. But that doesn't excuse the fact that he was a drinker and a drug user, a wife beater, right? And then he suffered with mental illness issues, okay? So that's the type of family I grew up in, right? So on the surface, I was good. I went to school, I learned English. I learned English through, my parents put me in front of the TV, so I think it was called Sesame Street at the time. So that's how I think I learned English, so it was pretty good. I went to a good school. Like I said, I went to all the good schools and everything, but all these learned behaviors was things I picked up throughout my life with my family and coming here and seeing how things change, right? See, around when I was 10, we moved into this trailer park over in Lane. So I came to the United States from Laos into California refugee camp, and then from there we got bused over to Kaysville. So I got sponsored by an LDS family, right? And we came here and we started living our life. So after Kaysville, I moved over into Layton in the trailer parks. And this is where a lot of things I saw, like I really didn't really need to see, right? My dad took my brother and my sister hostage, and myself, but I ran out of the house, right? And I didn't realize it was a hostage situation until I came back, because I left and I was selfish. So I wanted to go swimming with my friends, right? So that's where these decisions I started making was about me, it's about Toppee, right? So I chose to leave and left my younger brother and my sister there, okay? And I come back and I see these police surrounding our trailer, right? And I didn't realize what was going on. And I see my mom talk to my dad, you know, please let us go, I'll come back to you. I won't ever leave you, you know what I mean? And my dad had this, and with the excuses that he had, was just the victim that I played with him, right? So I was like, so I saw this change in him go through that situation, right? Sorry, this is a little hard. I usually don't talk about this, but it'll give you the effect where I'm at. I saw him do this, and when the cops rushed the house and they when the officer stuck his head in the window, in the door, he hit him with my bat. And this is a softball bat that I used for softball they gave me. So, and then my selfish thinking, right, this is how broken my mind was even at that age, right? One thing I think about was like, I wasn't gonna get that bat back. You know, how horrible was that? You know what I mean? At that age, I'm still thinking just about me, about Toppee, right? About what can I get out of this, right? So after all that debacle, right, he went to jail and prison. My mom picked us up and moved us out to California. And after my dad got out, he was looking for us, right? He had guns and everything. This was told to me by my mom, right? So of course I don't believe her. So she moved us out to Modesto, California, and things were going all right. We moved into an apartment with her best friend and 6 other kids, right? And this is where I started learning the birds and the bees and sort of how to act like a man and all these things as a kid I was learning, right? But it was all through bad behaviors. Okay. Because at that point I was finding people to hang out with. I was finding guys that were like-minded, right? Were the victims, were going through things. So it's when I got into drugs, when I got into alcohol, right? At that time. My mom got back with my dad, right? Told her if you don't straighten up and straighten out, you're gonna lose your family. So I saw my dad go through this change, and this change was good for him. So he decided to stop everything. So he stopped drinking, he stopped using, right? But that was because of the help of the courts. Because I remember him telling me the day before he died, the years leading up before his death, he told me that the only reason why I stopped doing all this is because the courts made him. Right? My dad carried mental issues throughout his whole life, right? He died sober, right? But in a different state, but we'll get to that later. So seeing all that kind of stuff, it hardened me a little bit, right? Because I watched him beat my mom to a pulp, and my mom still stayed with him, you know what I mean? And selfishly, I always ask why, you know what I mean? Why was I born into this type of family? Why was I the victim? Why don't I get the white picket fence with you know what I mean? I played the race card even. Why don't I get to be like these white kids where we got a normal weekend, we got a normal childhood, not realizing that everybody else, we're all the same, man. You got a story, I got a story, right? We got the same issues, you know. But Toppee wanted to be a victim. Toppee wanted to be selfish, you know. My first taste with the law was, oh man, it's a jumble. My first taste with law was through high school. Right? So normal kid through high school, did the normal things, ran with the crowd that I thought fit me, right? So if I had fit with the gangsters, I fit with them. If I had fit with the cowboys, I fit with them. Right? If I had fit with the punk rockers, I fit with them. So I tried to fit into all these different profiles as a kid. And this, again, I did throughout the rest of my life, you know. I got in trouble with law about drinking. I found out that I'm not a good drinker. After 4 DUIs later and felony DUIs, that I'm not a good drinker. You know, it didn't suit me very well. And then came in the harder drugs. Those harder drugs made me feel like Superman, made me feel like I was invincible, right? Made me feel that I can do anything in the world, you know? So I chose those, right, throughout the rest of my life. I was in and out of relationships, in and out of jobs because of my youth and my choices, right? Like we always do. And I didn't see this repetitive behavior until I came here to the bar, where, you know what I mean? Because here we learn how to face these demons, but in the right way. Excuse me. So after my first stint in jail and prison was with all those felony DUIs, right? I decided to try to make a change, and my best thinking got me this, right? I was still on parole and probation, and I decided to have a kid. Right, I thought that would fix everything. Right, my firstborn, Braxton. So I decided to go that route, but my mindset was like, they don't know about that other lifestyle, so I'm gonna keep doing that still, right? Like we all do. I've been manipulative. I lied, right? For about 20 years, I was married to the most amazing woman, right? But that was all a lie. Again, I tried to fit in. Right? I went to church high. I was using that at all the functions high. Right? I was doing all these drugs, doing all these things. I took use all my kids' functions and everything, like we all do, right? I used it to sell drugs, to be a bad example, to to just not be the man that my parents raised me to be, you know what I mean? So that, with that marriage going on, I decided to run away from my obligations while I was on parole and probation, right? Like I said, I ran from laying up to lawyer, thinking that all that stuff was gonna just blow over, which it did, because eventually I got caught. Because you're eventually gonna get caught. The more you run, the more you don't hold yourself accountable. You know what I mean? The more you lie and cheat, all those things are gonna build up, and then it's just gonna hit you right in the face later on down in life. So if you don't face it now, like you guys are doing, I promise you, it'll catch up to you, right? So as I did all that, I moved on. I was still doing all the bad choices, bad behaviors. 2006, I find out my mom was dying. So I moved back to Wayne to go try to help her out, right? At that point, I'm still using, you know, on the day of her death, on her deathbed, I use that excuse. I played the victim again. I use her death as to keep fueling my addictions and my bad behaviors. You know, I use it every excuse to not have a job. I use it every excuse to make me the martyr. You know what I mean? And then here goes again the cycle, right? After all that, I get through that a little bit, right? Then I lose my kid Braxton, right? So 2016, I lose Braxton to a car accident over there in Willard. He got hit by a car, going 60 miles per hour, right? Again, what do you think I did? Think I mourned? Think I stayed and helped my wife all the time, help out my kids? No. I did what all you guys did. I did exactly what I was supposed to do, and I thought was right at the time was I used him as the gateway for me to fuel my selfish behaviors. Right? I used him to say it's okay, you keep doing what you're doing because I lost him. Right? I used everything, man. So going through all that again, I was still using, not doing what I'm supposed to do. And another year goes by, and then my dad commits suicide. Do I make it about him? Do I make it about the rest of my family, the community? No. I made it about Toppee. I made it about me losing this person. I made it about losing my son, made it about losing my dad, made it about losing my mom. No, I made it about Toppee because I was selfish. Because I wanted to do drugs. I wanted to be the victim. I wanted you guys to see, oh, poor you. Keep doing what you're doing, it's okay. On a side note, I was telling my story the other day over Red Barn Chicken, and the lady was told me, well, it's okay that you did all that because your son. I said, no, it's not okay that I did that. 'Cause that's not what you're supposed to do, right? This place has helped me be able to see that those type of choices, those type of behaviors are not okay, right? What I should have done was manned up and held my wife and held my other two children and went back to work and be a member of society like I was supposed to do, right? But I didn't do it, right? I thought I could do it on my own. So again, selfishness. So, even after losing my dad, you know, I played the victim. I got the opportunity to try to fix my life again. They had me move back into his house, right, where all this happened. But again, I chose making it about me. Like, why do you guys make me move back in this house? Why do you make me take care of his estate? Why do you guys make me not a part of, you know, things? But in reality, they were trying to help me out, right? Trying to get me away from things that I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave that lifestyle because it was easy. It was easy for me to do drugs. It was easy for me to to hide, to wallow in misery, because that's what we do. That's what I did anyways, right? I was selfish, man. I was a piece of work. I wasn't the person that I wouldn't want see and be around, right, at that point in my life, right? So after that, to follow my dad, after my son passed away, I spiraled. But just because I chose to spiral, I chose to lose everything. I lost my wife. I lost a marriage of 20 years. Lost my other 2 kids. I went in a state of just F it, like we all do, right? Didn't care. I didn't care about what anybody thought. I didn't care what about anybody, how they saw me and how they talked to me, right? I just gave up. I ended up from being the guy that in my community, not that I was a big stature there, but I mean, in my eyes, like I went from being sealed in the temple, from holding the Melchizedek priesthood, from teaching primary, this guy right here, teaching primary, 2 kids, a scoutmaster, to walking the streets of Brigham with we all know what that guy looks like, the 20-pound backpack, walking around. I don't even know what, I think I had like 20 million batteries in there and 1 working flashlight, that's it. You know, that's what we all do, right? So that's the lifestyle I chose because I wanted to play the victim still. I wanted no help. I thought I could do it on my own, you know, and that's not the case, right? So I find myself walking around Brigham, homeless, right? Blaming everybody, blaming the community, blaming the police, blaming that rock, blame anything I can blame so that I can keep doing what I'm doing, right? I finally got fed up. So I was walking around Brigham, and I decided I wanted to end it all. So we do what we do, right? So I got ready for it. So I packed up everything I could, got all the necessary stuff that I needed, right? I was going to take care of what I need to take care of. And I had a friend of mine drop me off over at Kent's. So, well, he took me to go to Kent's to go get some food. So I grabbed food. And I was walking down Kent's down 4th Street in Brigham. And if you guys don't believe in spiritual things, you guys aren't believe in anything higher, in a higher power, then that's okay. Believe in something greater than yourself. I did at the time, right? Or I thought I did. I was walking down that street and for some odd reason, my home group, my AA home group was open. And all the guys that I seen out there, right, they were out there, so I decided to go in there, right, let's go see what it was about, go one last shot. Walk in there, sit there, and just listen to the stories, right, and get out. And I'm just walking down the street there. And I get to that Bowery, and this is the Bowery where I used to take my other 2, when Braxton was alive, I would take it to church functions, right? We'd go there and have our picnics, go to the pool there, right? And all of a sudden it just started raining. It was dumping on us. It was just dumping on me. And so I decided this is where I was all in, right? This is where I'm closer to spiritually to my family or whatever, right? The last things I needed. And I couldn't find anything. Either I lost it, or my higher power, my Heavenly Father, knew that it wasn't my time. Because it was gone. All this stuff was lost. Everything. I mean, I had it already. Everything was lost. That was just one of my SDFs that I had, and that's what I learned here. What Rich has taught us and everything, right? What an SDF is, right? Serendipitous encounter of virtuosity. Even though the tragic thing that was about to happen, it was something that opened my eyes up. You know, it was a moment of clarity. So that moment of clarity made me call my friend, who a lot of you guys met here, he came and spoke, his name is Shane. He's the mayor of Corinne. I called him, and I told him, you know, hey man, I want to go to Red Barn. I need to do something, I need to figure it out. And he told me, okay, this is your one-way ticket. And that's it, you know what I mean? And the only reason why I wanted to come here was to get out of the rain. I was cold and hungry, man, right? So Shane picked me up and brought me over here, and like he said, when he told me his one-way ticket, my mind was racing, just like always. It was like, oh man, he's taking me to, he's here to kill me, he's gonna drop me off. And this last time I seen him, right, you know, I mean, even though I was about to end it myself, right? But this is how bad your mind goes, right? My mind went to like, nobody's gonna take me out, I'm gonna take myself out, you know, but anyways, he brought me here, drove me right through this front gate right here. When it was open, right through the street here, right here, and parked me right there. And I walk in, and they set me on the bench. And this is one of my pivotal moments in my life that I had to make. So I made a choice to stay. And I made that choice. The sun comes up, the sun comes out, nice and shiny out there, and I was like, man, what the heck did I do? I just made the worst choice of my life because it's not cold anymore outside, right? It's not raining. I can go back out and do my things. But what sparked my curiosity was I was hearing a bunch of these guys laughing in here, and then in walks Nicholas. He was our program manager at the time, and a man named W. He came and interviewed me, and they told me, they asked me what I wanted from Red Barn. I said I want to change my life, and they told me you're full of crap. Sit here. And I really had to sit and think about it, right? That's why that bench is so important. It's not just a punishment. It's not a punishment thing, man. It's a portal to your new life. It's a game changer. You know, I mean, without that bench, without me having to really sit and think, without those guys telling me like it is, what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. That's what made the difference in my life. You know what I mean? So I stayed. I can't tell you how important and most wonderful, beautiful thing that is for me to do was to stay here and fight for me. Because what these guys gave me back was a sense of worth, a sense of Toppee, a sense of who I am. Right? I got myself back. Right? I get to go out there every morning, every day, come here, and know that I'm alive and that I got a big old family here that's going to support me in everything I do. Right? I got just this past week I've been dealing with some issues in my personal life with my people, right? And you know how good it is to come back here and bounce the ideas off with these guys and talk and know that the decisions that I'm making is going to help without me going rogue and just doing what I used to do. We just run and play the victim. Well, she's not listening to me. Screw her. I'm gonna take care of this. No, today I get to be a good parent. Today I get to show up to be a good brother. Today I get to show up to be a productive member of society. And I get to work at not Robot Chicken, Red Barn Chicken. I've been watching TV a little bit, sorry guys. So I get to go work at Red Barn Chicken and be part of the public, right? The public don't do the things that we do. It's crazy to see like the way you guys carry yourselves here. It's not carried out there too much, man. You guys gotta realize you guys are an elite group here. And I'm just honored to be part of it, man. Like to see all these new brothers come in here, right? The newest member right here, stay, right? Jake, to see him with his glasses, man, we can see within 2 feet of him, and just for him to stay, right? These little things will happen for you, man. These little things will click for you if you guys stay here, right? Like I said, this Red Barn is a sanctuary, man. It really is. It's a place to where when they say to reinvent your life, you be who or whatever you want. My whole life I was a master electrician. Now I'm in college. I get to go to school, right? I get to follow the rules. I get to be held accountable still, which is perfect, right? That's the beauty of this place, man. I've said it before, and Justin H makes fun of me about it, right? Being a part of something, right? And when I wasn't getting pulled up, man, I felt like I wasn't a part of it. Right? I felt like I fell through the cracks again, right? So pull each other up, man. Use the process on each other, because without you guys using the process on me, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't be able to look at myself and be like, man, maybe I do have to change some things. Maybe I can work on some things. I get to work on some things, right? Because we never arrive. I haven't. I'm still growing, man. After 2 years, for me, 2 years wasn't enough, right? I was just like Sean, like he said earlier, after maybe a couple years, like, I don't know, I'll probably just work out, you know what I mean? But after my year in, and started making sound decisions, and seeing Mario, seeing Jeffrey, right? Go through this program and have what they have, man, that's what I want. As cliche as it is, man, you just stay and do what these guys ask of you, man. Yeah, it is hard. It's one of the hardest programs ever, but it's the most rewarding. You know what I mean? Now I get to go through my third year with, look at all the green shirts that we have here now, you know what I mean? And not just the green shirts, we got a lot more guys graduating. Scott's gonna be coming up soon, you know what I mean? Like, I see all these guys doing their things. And still my mind goes back, maybe I should go through this program again, maybe I missed something, you know what I mean? But then I can look at Dustin, and he's done it twice. There's a man right there that can do it twice, you know what I mean? Why can't I do it twice? You never know. This ain't a thing to where you just get your certificate and go, man. It's what you take with you throughout the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Dustin came back for a reason. He didn't get some that he lost last time. You know what I mean? So I just encourage you guys to look deep within yourself, and ask, who's that man you want to be? It's as cliche as it is, man. Like, who's the man that stands within? I'm the man that stands within now. This is who I am. I'm Toppee Phetsysouk. I don't have to be that drug addict, the cheat, the liar, the bad person anymore, man. I can be Toppee Phetsysouk that makes mistakes, that follows the rules, that owns up to his mistakes, that holds himself accountable, right, in this day and age. Any questions? That's it, man. I just love this place. I thank you guys, man. Like this place is just, I don't know, I couldn't do it without you guys, man. Just seeing all the new brothers in here and all the older guys, I guess, coming up. We have a house meeting next week, and I'm excited to see where you guys are all at, and how this house has changed, but it's evolved and it's good. But I appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys. Got any questions? Jeffrey.
What does your spirituality look like now?
I have a belief in myself. Right? My Heavenly Father has given me know that I can make mistakes still, and that if I just do what's right and just own it, that there's nothing that I can't do in this world without, you know what I mean, like without the help of you guys, and just knowing that I'm worth something still. Sean.
So I heard a lot of accountability to your story, man. Like Toppee did this, about story, and all these things that you're able to see and recognize where you could have done better for sure, man. And like we all know, hindsight's 20/20. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? But at some point you gotta start working on forgiving yourself. But you've begun that process of actually forgiving yourself, and you know it's okay to do these things, but
Yeah.
now you're better and moved on.
Yeah, I have, and it's taken away, like when I speak with my family members, I just want to spew on and say I'm sorry, and this, but I don't have to do that, right? That's done and over with, right? I think Jeffrey told me it best. Like, you're here now. You're a living amends, right? So I've learned to forgive myself, and I can look myself in the mirror today and say I like the man I've become. You know what I mean? But yes, I have started forgiving myself.
So throughout your stay, was there ever times where you were like, man, what am I doing here? And had thoughts of leaving, and if so, man, what made you decide to stay?
Yeah, I had those thoughts of leaving, like my first week here. right? Is when I started getting held accountable. I was like, man, like, you guys don't know me, like, you guys hold me accountable for this. I was like, no, move too fast. What are you talking about? Move too fast. But I see it now, you know what I mean? And just, what got me through is just like, I cared enough about myself. I didn't want to be that guy anymore. I wanted to love myself. I wanted to be able to look in the mirror and be like, you know what, you're good, man. You do have flaws, but that's okay. That's, you know what I mean? Tyson. Bird.
What advice can you give the brothers here when they're going through it, they feel like they want to leave? What advice can you give them to want to stay, man? What advice can you give them to help them the most?
Conversate. Talk to your leaders. Find a mentor. Talk. The big thing is communicate, man, because we don't have to hold it in anymore. I see it a lot. Like, when I don't want to talk, is when I know that's where I need to go talk to somebody, right? Like I talked with Tyson the other morning about some things I was bouncing off, right? I talk to Lewis every day. You know, I talk to my mentors, right? I just talk and ask for advice because you don't have to do this alone. That's the best thing. And love yourself, man. Start loving yourself. You guys are here. You made the hard decision in your life just to come here. You know what I mean? Write those letters. But now it's your choice. And another decision you have to make is just staying. Right? Go ahead, Joe. Nathan.
Yeah, Toppee, I just want to tell you thank you for sharing your story, first of all, and it took a lot of courage, man. You know, my experience with you it's been nothing but positive. I mean, the way that you handle each day has been an inspiration to a lot of us, and like, keep going. Can you tell the guys just kind of like how you stay positive, how you've got out of resentments or holding resentments, or how you work through your problems? I mean, you've just been so positive. I'd like to hear that.
I find the silver lining in everything. Not that I make a joke of it, but it's like there's always a positive that comes out of it, man. I can find humor in anything. That's how I got through my programs. Like I can find humor even when I'm going through it. I can find humor in it. I know when to be when I have to be appropriate, when I need to talk to the right people and stuff. You know what I mean? But just find the silver lining, man. It's the small things that help you go through your day. Go ahead, brother.
What advice can you give, like when you're in your own head, working, and you start to think about your little people and you get depressed and shameful and regret to push through it? 'Cause I struggle with that.
You show that? So my big thing was, the best advice to give me is like they know you're here, right? Jeffrey, for example, like I didn't think about all this stuff till Jeffrey brought me a little message from my people that after, after my 3 months here, something like that?
4 or 5, yeah.
4 or 5 months here, right? And I was going through it, I talked to appropriate people first, right? I talked to them about it, but knowing that when I got the message and she's saying that she was proud of me and that she knows I'm safe and happy, I was doing the thing, it was one of the best things ever, man. So what I encourage you to do is talk to your appropriate leaders, right? Don't go through it alone, right? But know a time and place when to do it, you know what I'm saying? Because then that way you don't want to be bleeding on your brother and stuff, but talk to the appropriate people, talk to the guys that you need to talk to, right? Pray, honestly, pray. How many times have we prayed when we went to the other place, but not really prayed? It was like, man, get me out of this. Come on, I didn't do it, please get me out of this. No, actually just pray. And it doesn't even have to be to what a God, whatever that looks like. Just saying it out loud or saying it in your mind and getting it out there in the universe. Yeah. Dustin.
Toppee, I know that, man, you've been an inspiration this whole program. Thank you for sharing your story. I was just wondering what's next for you after college.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought about marriage, but I don't know about that again. I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting to a point where I won't be able to have children, so maybe I'd like to be a grandpa, but not too soon. Don't say that to my father. You know, maybe, but I'm just going with where my life is today, man. Day in, day out. Jake says best, man, I keep a routine. Jake has taught me about routine here, man. Things will come. Things will just fall into place. if you just keep doing what you're supposed to do, right? The more right you do, the more right you're gonna get. So,
So, from when you came in, you're broken, man, to being like in every leadership role that the house has to offer, to who you are today, man, like, what are some of the things you apply to your daily life, or that you still do apply?
what I do apply? The 3 Ps. I still pull people up, even out there. It's not right, you know what I mean? But in a kind way, there's ways of doing it, right? How artists are the best, your delivery, right? Like, I use 3 Ps out there still. I trust my guys. I trust in people again, right? Kitchen managers taught me the kitchen manager, when I was a kitchen manager, they taught me a lot. Cause I got to work with all the younger brothers that different personalities, different strengths, you guys go through it day in, day out, every minute, every hour, right? And I get to watch this team and just be a part of you guys, you know what I mean? Another thing was connection. I lost a lot of connection before I got here. My key thing is trying to stay more connected, right? Nicholas brought me a great game where, you know what I mean, like, I gotta be more present just so that, because it does help me. It's not just for you guys, but it helps me when I'm around and knowing where I come from, right? Because I'm still just as broken as you guys, but I'm just further along the path. Hope that answered the question. Anything else? First off, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys. You guys are an inspiration to me, man. I keep doing this because I love you guys and hope for the best. Thanks, guys.
I just want to say thank you. Toppee, is this one working? Can you guys hear me? Cool. Thank you. Yeah, seriously. You guys just heard it from one of your own. Now, what I want you to take away from this is we all have our story. Every one of us. Right? No matter how hard it gets here, no matter what you're going through, no matter how much you want to leave, you have to remember what you've already been through. Because what you've already been through is a lot more painful than anything you're going to go through here. And I promise you, just stick it out. And this guy's going to school for sociology now. And look at him. Look at where he came from. You heard his story, and look at where he's at now. That's what you can have. And so when you get lost and you start thinking about how hard it is here, don't forget about where you came from. And it's good to reflect. Once in a while, don't live in the past, but reflect. That's why it's good to tell your story on the moves. The story is very powerful, not only for you, but for everybody else that gets to hear it. So remember that. Anyway, let's give one more round of applause.